Number 51 is a chemistry problem where we have a weak saline solution that we want to make stronger by evaporating some water from it. So what we're going to do is we're going to, in this case, not actually set up a table. Setting up a table for this one is a little bit more difficult. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to just write it out in words. So starting with, we want to know how much water should be evaporated. So I'm just going to call that X. We're going to let X be the amount of water to be evaporated. Okay, so if you remember, the percentage concentration times the amount of saline solution there is, if we multiply those, that'll give me the amount of salt. So when it says that we have 160 liters of a 12% saline solution, there is 12% of 160, which is equal to 19.2 liters of salt in the initial one. Okay. So 19.2 liters of salt in the initial solution. So if I take the 19.2, if we want it to have just as much salt as it did before, the equation we want to set up is that the amount of salt that it has in the original, okay, because we can't really get rid of the salt, the amount of salt that it has in the original should be the same thing on the other side as well. So what I can do is I can take the 0.2, right, we want it to be 20%. So if I take 0.2 times 160 minus X, right, X is the amount of water we want to evaporate, so if X is the amount we want to evaporate, the amount that's left over would be 160 minus that, 160 minus X. So we have 0.2 times, right, 20% times 160 minus X. We want to see where these are going to be equal to each other. Now anytime that you're solving an equation with with decimals, you can multiply both sides by the furthest place value in the decimal. So if I see this is 19 and 2/10 and this is 2/10, the furthest place value is the tenths place. So I can multiply both sides by 10 to clear up my decimals. If the furthest place value were the hundredths place, I can multiply by 100 and so on. So this would be 192 equals 2 times 160 minus X. 192 equals 320 minus 2x. Solve for x here. 2x equals 128, which means x equals 64, which is actually exactly what we're looking for. So we need to evaporate 64 liters of water.